Do you own your RV and you're wondering what it takes to install your washer dryer? How much space it's going to take up? What do you do with a closet once you've installed it? How do you make it functional? Well, I'm addressing that in this video, okay? This is our 390 DS. It's a Keystone Avalanche. We live full-time in it. And we knew that doing laundry was going to be something that was going to be a major thing for us, and we couldn't just rely on campground laundromats. In fact, we're mooch docking, so we don't have a laundromat. So we've been doing we basically do laundry nonstop now, and so because we have the two kids and ourselves, and we're active, and it requires us doing laundry. And so this video is me showing you how I took this drawing and turned it into what is now our functional closet and laundry space. So be sure to stick around to the end to see how this actually works out, because it's one thing to have concept, it's a whole nother thing to have actual usage, and we'll show you what that looks like here at the end. All right, so this is the current situation for where the washer dryer are going. So we're gonna have to take this guy out, and I think we'll either have it in here stacked, maybe facing sideways. I've seen where some people do it on a caddy corner and diagonal. We might do that too. But again, I gotta make sure. It says, please place dryer vent on this wall according to manufacturer installation instructions. I'm gonna have to find those, right? Let's hope they're somewhere in this RV. And I've also seen where people found out that their hot and cold wasn't actually hooked up correctly. Because I'm doing this in the house, or at the house, I'm not hooked up to really truly test all this. So I'm gonna hook it up and pray that it's gonna be good. So I also need to get some Teflon plumbing tape. I've seen people do this without that. I just feel like that's a bad idea. So we wanna make sure we do something with that and get Teflon tape on that. All right, so yeah, more to come. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all a thing I just realized, and I'm gonna solve this problem at some point. But one, from here to there, this is just barely deep enough. I thought I'd have them facing out, which means I have a big old gap back there. So I might do a caddy corner here. But the real problem is, from the floor to this shelf is 55 inches. But the washer dryer are 66 stacked, roughly. So I'm gonna have to cut this shelf, which means I'm gonna have to figure out a clever way to make sure this shelf is still either usable, or maybe I've got to remove it entirely. I'm not sure yet how that's gonna work, so I might sawzall it or something and then do some sort of bracket. That's at an angle back there, so just having a regular 90-degree isn't necessarily gonna work unless I'm able to flatten it out or straighten it out, or not straighten it, but bend it to the angle I need. So it's just, little stuff that is starting to add up in an annoying way, but such is the RV life as I'm learning. Oh yeah, that's great. Anyway, so yeah, this is kind of how it goes. So little things as you go, oh crap, well, that's not gonna work. So we gotta rethink our strategy. So just giving you some heads up here. Okay, so so I chose the Splendid, okay, washer and dryer setup, stackable. The reason I chose this, for anybody that's curious, is because it's a family of 4 and we go through laundry pretty heavily, and I thought the combo where it's like the washer dryer in one might be a little slow, to be honest, where if we wear these, I could wash a load and then I can dry a load, and and have more going at once if needed. So just more capacity. So I know I'm giving up space to make that happen, but we do go through laundry in our house in units that are 3 times the size of these as far as capacity. And so I can only imagine we might, even though we're reducing our stuff and our clothing and all the stuff that he's washing, I realized that we're still going to be doing laundry. So that's why I went with the stackable versus the all-in-one. And so yeah, so some things that you need to get or make sure you have, depending on how you're ordering this, whether it's online or whatever. You're going to want this kit, which comes with this goes on the outside of the RV up there. All right, cover that up. It comes with this. I've seen where people try and buy all this from Home Depot. It's not going to work for you. It needs to be properly suited for your RV. This has got your vent hose, screws for screwing all this stuff in, and this keeps the birds and bugs out vent pipe for your RV that your corrugated hose goes on to. So there's that. You're also going to need these mounting brackets, which is what will mount this on top of here and hold it in place and keep that safe. The only thing I don't have is the drip tray, which I hope I don't regret not having that, but yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. So something I didn't think about until just now. All right, so first thing, we're removing these, and they come out of the back. They're what hold the washing drum in place. So you want to unscrew them mostly, but you don't want to take the screw all the way out because that's holding the drum to keep it, you know, in place and transport and all that, so it doesn't get rattled and before you buy it. So you get that pulled out, and then you can pull that. Same here. Just kind of, it doesn't come out easily. Just there we go. And that's all of those. All right, I'm currently having to halt my installation. I thought, you know, without the drain pan, I was going to be a little risky and be like, you know, I'll just skip it and I'll deal with it later. But we all know that once I get these installed, I'll never get to it. That being said, what I can't move forward on is when I got these, I thought these were the mounting brackets for the dryer on top of the washer. That is not true. I was not sold the mounting brackets as part of this full kit. That is about an $80 part and a very necessary one. So I need to make sure I get that. So if I'm gonna go back to the store, I'll go ahead and get the drain pan and get it all done right, so I don't have to stress about it. So that's the plan. So when you see this next step of the video, it'll be at least tomorrow. Here's where we're at. We're bringing in the dryer just to dry fit it, to make sure before we start cutting stuff up in the closet that what our idea is works. But we had to take the door off to get this through because side to side it is too wide. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. Good times. Hey, thanks for making it this far into the video. If you would, just take a quick moment to like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. It helps our algorithm, gets more reach and sees more people, and that just helps us. And so we're just trying to get the word out about what it's like, the challenges, the excitement, the journey, the adventure of living full-time in the RV. So hitting that like button, hitting subscribe certainly helps us out. So if you made it this far, we really do appreciate it. As I'm updating here, it's now the next day. I've had time to sleep on it. I was doing some research. I was looking at what other people might have done with their washer dryer setup in their RV, or their particular 390DS, and saw one where the washer was in this corner, caddy corner, dryer was over there, caddy corner. They took off the doors, built some shelving. I don't know that I've got time to get that involved with the building of the shelving, but I do like the idea of going caddy corner on each side with the washer and dryer. And the reason being is because I don't have to stack them, because stacking them, I've got to cut out some of the shelf. So I got to reinforce that, and I lose space, and it just, you know, I don't know that I'm gonna be in for that. I don't want to do that. If I'm going to do some modifications, I'm going to do some mods that make more sense for usability. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these doors. I'm going to leave them off and just get rid of the doors, and I'll put up either a tension rod or something goes across there where I'll have some curtains, and that'll give us a little bit more room. No, I won't have the mirrors in here, but I'll figure something else out for that. All right, I think you're gonna get a general idea of what we're going for here. We're gonna caddy corner, dryer, washer. I gotta right now work on the washer pan, the water pan, just to make sure that it's set up to catch any leaks, if there are any, from the body of the washer. Unfortunately, since I'm on my house, I don't know if I'm really able to test. I mean, maybe I can hook up my water from the house to here. It's just I'm using a regular hose because my fresh water won't reach. And I don't know if I want to do that or not. So I can't really test the water supply and the pressure and all that stuff of my washer system. So just something to think about. We're gonna work on the pan right now. There's progress. It doesn't look like it, but there is. Figuring this out. But I gotta say this again. When I say how blessed we are with our neighbors, we are blessed. That right there is Scott. And he's over here teaching my boy how to cast with the rod while I'm in here working on this, because my boy's like, Daddy, can you show me how to do this? And I said, well, I'm working, but you know who can? Scott. So I told my boy, take that fishing rod to Scott and see if he can teach you. And here we are. So this right here, this is living, people. It's all about relationships, teaching other people, you know, share your skills, be kind, pay it forward. And so Scott, if you're watching this, I appreciate you. I love you as a friend and a neighbor. Okay, so we are test fitting. So what I've got here is the pan. I have not screwed that to the floor to secure that. I'm just test fitting to make sure how everything's gonna work. I didn't like that these doors open to each other. I'd prefer that they opened out, but just know that you can't flip these. You can't flip the doors on these like you can on the regular washer dryer. So this is what you get. So know that. I also took the track out since I'm taking the doors out. I took the track out because for me to get the angle right on these, I want them kind of pulled forward a little bit. And that was sitting on the track, making this unlevel. So I figured that would create wobbling. We don't want that either. Okay, I'm at the point where I am ready to move forward on drilling the hole. I've seen the videos where people are nervous about this part. I understand why, but my understanding, having researched, is that this front cap, plywood and or fiberglass with that overlaid, and then it's 3 inches of foam, and then you've got the plywood or fiberglass on the inside, but there shouldn't be any studs and certainly not any wiring. And I'm on the opposite side of the plumbing anyway. And so it turns out, my understanding is all of the wiring runs, that like there's 2 plugs in here on either side of the closet, run down and through here. So shouldn't hit anything. I'm aiming for this X based on the way that I marked this. My floor for the rig should be about 10 inches below that. Okay, and then I come over here into my closet, and then up from there about 16 inches is about where I'm trying to get the thing. So anyway, that's the goal, and we'll see how close I get. I'm gonna go ahead and drill and see how this is gonna go. I honestly am not sure if that's gonna go all the way through. I don't know, we'll find out. Should, but anyway, my plan is to go right about in there, somewhere in there. Okay. So that way I've got a little bit of room for the hose. It's not going to be too long, so I can get extra drying without, you know, build up. So this is the plan. Let's go right here. I'm going to do it. Can't stop me. It's gonna happen anytime now. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah. No, we're doing it. Somewhere right in here. This is the spot. So where it's gonna happen, right? Or should I wait? Maybe I should just double check. You know, measure twice, cut once, right? So took this little piece of paper and I folded it to keep the angle from the edge here to there the same as over here. Okay, so that's why I have it that way. I just kind of make sure that my angles between the two units are approximately the same, without getting crazy on the measurements. But so back in here, so you'll see back there is where the vent pipe will come out. So I wanted to come out up and around just a little bit so that I'm not like pinching off the hose, but you know, I've got, you know, some length there. So my thought, where you saw me with the drill bit, was right down in here. Okay, so it kind of wrap around right in there. I might come up so it comes up and bumps into there, so it's nice, and I can reach it. So I haven't had to reach way down in there. So see, measure twice, cut once, measure 3 times, and 4. 1 potato, 2 potato. All right, here we go. So originally I was drilling right about in here. I think I'm going to come up a little higher right in here. Okay. And I'm going to hit this spot with the 4-inch. Leave a little space for that 4-inch. And that's the plan. I'm going to hit it right here so I can come up from the pipe, the vent stack, and connect here instead of having to go to the left where it kind of pinches in the corner. So let's do this. Okay, let's go look at it. All right, so up here is the hole that I drilled. I was aiming down here. That's about where I was looking with originally, but that was the corner of the dryer. In the back corner was here, and I was going to be pinched off coming around from the dryer stack here and then out here. So I opted to go high and above that dryer stack at a dryer vent. So I'm going to come up here, and fortunately just barely left myself enough room right there. So it's not exactly ideal, but okay, we'll run with it. All right, so here's what's going on. I want to explain this to you because, you know, it's worth knowing. So when I drilled this hole, I was a heck of a lot closer to the seam on the side and to the front cap than I expected I was. I mean, so I don't want to be that close, especially when I'm taking 2 inches this direction. So I'm going to pull this back 2 inches here so that the outer edge of my 4-inch hole drill will catch that hole, and I give myself a little bit more reinforcement. And so this should all right, let's look at it from the other side. So the one to the right is the hole that I just drilled. Now I'm trying to get through the fiberglass, so I'm gonna get some blue tape and a ladder so I can get up there a little better. Okay, tape this off to try and prevent fraying. My drill may not be all that powerful, so not really. Hey, we did it. And boom, good stuff. Okay, so what I just did, when I put this in here, there's like a gap like that at the top. That's not good because this is a water penetration point. And that's because when I was drilling, I was kind of reaching up, so it was drilling like at an angle. That's exaggerated, but that's why it was leaving this kind of thing at the top. So I just took my drill with the 4-inch hole bore and just kind of honed it out a little bit so that that'll sit flush. I'll get some caulking, screw that in, and that'll be good to go. All right, so I did forget caulking, so I need to go to the store, get some caulking that I can put around this to seal it up. When I put that in there, get a good seal, no bugs, no water, no nothing. That's the idea here, so gotta do that, so go knock that out. We're gonna do some caulking around here. We gotta make sure that we seal this up good and proper. Ooh, tell you what, I've done prettier jobs before, but one-handed while holding the camera, this is as good as it's gonna get. And here's the finished product. All holes drilled, everything's hooked up. Again, I haven't pressure tested or leak tested or anything to make sure that this runs, because I'm not at a campground and I don't want to dump gray water on the street in front of my house, and just various reasons why I'm just not going to do that now. But I put some Teflon tape, plumber tape, on the water side, hot water, cold water for both dryer and the supply plumbing from the RV. But the problem now is I don't have a whole lot in the way of space as far as like hanging, so I've got to come up with a system. Maybe tomorrow I'll work on building out something. I got to do it while I'm still in front of my house, so I can borrow my neighbor's tools. But that's the plan, to build a very quick and efficient closet space that can, function for all purposes needed. So today we're building a closet. I've got to be out of the house in about 17 hours or so from now. So we've got a living room full of stuff, and a lot of that stuff, not all of it, but quite a bit of the stuff needs to find a place in the closet. So what you're looking at is my closet system, and trying to reinforce what's there, the top shelf on the 390DS, and then to add an extra layer of shelving along with a rod that's sturdy and some shelving that will work on top of the washer dryer, just to kind of give some extra spots to put things. So that's kind of the plan right now, and we're gonna run with it, see what happens. Right now the shelving material cost me about $115, including this board right here, which is a 3/4 inch 16 by 8 foot, and so it's pretty nice looking. Just try to keep the aesthetics and try to keep all the wood the same color. I'm not going to stain it or anything like that. I don't have time for that, so we're just going to make it work. I'm thanking my neighbor Jared, who's holding the camera, for the use of his tools, because this thing, dude, look at this. You hold it down, it gets in a tight spots. Check this out. All right, and the final product. Well, it's not done yet, but these are double-sided in place just to prevent stuff from sliding off and move. This thing's a lot more sturdy than it was. Got a hanger, not a lot. I need to shave these corners and then bolt those in place, and we got it. So here it is. This is the final product. We have been using this closet and washer dryer setup for about 2 months now, and it's been working out really well. Of course, there's things we'd always change, but you know, as quickly as I had to get it done and installed and functional, it is honestly, it's been great. It hasn't disappointed. So I'm gonna pull the curtain back, and I did want to point out, we are using the curtain. It's nice because, you know, when I need to get into bed on my side, I don't have the hard doors blocking me. Plus we drop that weight, we can use that weight somewhere else. But yeah, we'll just slide these to the side, and here we have the closet. Washer dryer setup, actually doing laundry at the moment. And so my wife's side is on over here. She's using these baskets. She would prefer to have baskets that are cut out with sides to kind of separate everything. I kind of go with the fold it, stack it, let friction do the work. And so this is what I do on my side, is I just fold everything and stack it all up. This has worked out surprisingly well. Getting these drop down hangers so we can utilize that vertical space to hold more has really come in handy. And this is very, very sturdy, so I can put a lot of weight on there. And you know, there's stuff that we don't want to fold, we don't want to store, it doesn't fit in our drawers, so it's got to be hung, and that's what goes here. And it's working, it really is. And so I recommend, if you do something like this, consider these for space saving efficiencies like that. I'm going to take you in for a closer look here. So we do have, I put this on here, I secured it with double-sided tape just to give me a lip here. I didn't know what I would put up there, but I knew that having that lip there, because this was going to be slick, would hold whatever I decided to put there. This was a good idea, a basket just holding the soap and whatnot. Also installed these. All I did was I screwed those in with a screw and a washer to hold these up, 4 of those on each side. I have one in each of my kids' closets too. It works out really, really well. And we don't put a whole lot of weight in there, but this is holding some of my shoes, belts, things like that. It's not terribly organized, but that's all right. And then my wife's side, she has hers as well. Now we do have little cubby holes back in here on each side, and even back behind the closet, we have stuff stored. Those are things we don't normally access, but we feel like we might need at some point, so we have those stored there. But really, this has been a very functional closet. The only thing, if I was to do it different, I don't know. Maybe I'll just take the walls out on either side entirely, just have enough to hang the curtain rod from up here. But again, I knocked this thing out effectively in about half a day. Well, as far as the amount of time I put into it, probably 8 or 9 hours. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it being 8 or 9 hours. There it is. That's a story of our closet and our washer dryer on our 390DS Keystone Avalanche. We'd love your comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we really appreciate you viewing our videos. And we've got some cool videos coming up. Ones that, like, we're on the road, we've got just wild things that have happened and cool stories to tell. And so you got to be checking back with us and seeing what we're posting up here, okay? But y'all take care.